Oh, please, please, please. Save me from this debacle. I have seen some really bad Raws, ladies and gentlemen, but, my god, this was awful. Like, I'm talking 2010 awful. This Raw was absolutely crap. There was no investment at all. There was no progression in any of the storylines. Basically, the storylines that they were going for was the 4th of July, the rest of the world versus the United States, okay? And, I understand that, 4th of July, okay, they might have, like, a little gimmick match, but no, this whole thing was the whole show. And it didn't progress any storylines. The John Cena AJ Styles storyline didn't progress. They basically are saying what they're saying the previous weeks. There's no change to the storyline. That's the problem that I have, ladies and gentlemen. Such as, the Enzo Amore and Big Cass thing. Granted, I'm not a big fan of them, right? But there are people that are fans of them, and they want to see them progress, okay? And I can appreciate that. There's fans that want them guys to progress, okay? But WWE aren't letting them progress, they're just making them go around in circles. The same applies to the John Cena AJ Styles storyline. They're basically doing John Cena, hey man, you AJ Styles, you ain't nothing, yeah. And AJ Styles says, I'm in the club, I'm in the club. And then all of a sudden, they beat each other up. Either AJ Styles gets advantage, or B, John Cena gets advantage. I really hope during the brand split, and I will get to that in a second, because I think that this is something where I think, either it might work, or B, I think the brand split is going to be even worse than what it was at this rate. But that aside, okay, AJ Styles versus John Cena, they haven't progressed anything. They're basically saying the same thing over and over again. So you can literally watch from the start of last week's Raw, skip the whole thing, and then watch the pay-per-view, and that's the storyline. It doesn't give you an incentive to watch Raw. Now, maybe with this brand extension, maybe they might have more time for storylines. Maybe people now will have time and shit like that. Maybe that's a possibility. But at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, it's like these storylines are going around in circles. And I even heard that apparently that the best segment was the Charlotte, the women's promo that happened. It was Charlotte and Dana Brooke and, Sasha Banks. Apparently that was the best part of Raw, essentially. And so let's break this shit down. Sorry for the long intro here, folks, but I honestly... I might lose my shit here because this is just crap. Okay, Titus O'Neil versus Rusev, completely pointless. Never have I seen a more pointless thing in my entire life. They say Titus O'Neil, he's gonna beat Rusev. Why didn't they have Titus O'Neil beat Rusev or something like that? Make something shocking rather than doing a predictable thing where Rusev beats Titus O'Neil. If they're gonna do something, at least let it be unpredictable. But no, they don't. They're predictable. Rusev wins, and it's crap. And it's basically a waste of nothing. Rusev defeated Titus O'Neil. This was definitely one of the worst, honestly. The match itself, the ring work wasn't great. It was terrible. Enzo Amore versus Big Cass and Social Outcasts. Here's the problem that I have, right? The Social Outcasts are dressing up as the Minutemen, okay? Can we at least have a few minutes of them talking before Enzo Amore and Big Cass come in? Because otherwise, these guys are just coming in with costumes, and that's it. They're literally they're literally making these guys wear costumes for the sake of wearing costumes. Okay? If you're gonna have them wear costumes, at least them talk a little bit about the Minutemen. Maybe have a little promo. Oh, yes, it's gonna be cringeworthy and it's gonna be crap, but anything's better than what they did here. All they did was have Enzo Amore and Big Cass rant off about all the presidents, which I heard he didn't get most of them right. And then they beat up the Social Outcasts. That's it. That's all they did. They did nothing. This literally added nothing. And again, like I said previously, I'm not a big fan of Enzo Amore and Big Cass, but to fans, I can see why you guys are disappointed. Because you guys want to see Enzo Amore and Big Cass progress further in the story. And instead they're not involved in really a storyline. It looks like they might have Enzo Amore and Big Cass involved with the club kind of scenario. But that aside, it's like, you know what I mean? I don't know, this felt so forced and so rushed. Enzo Amore, I don't know why, but he just kept talking about all the presidents. It felt very forced, and unfortunately Enzo Amore and Big Cass are running into a dead end where if they do not progress through other storylines such as tag team, I don't know why they haven't set up tag team storylines. For some weird reason, and I've noticed this with the tag team division, is that they just shove them in together. What's the point? I don't see a point in that. Instead, they have Enzo Amore and Big Cass just ranting and doing their stuff. And, that's fine. If people that are fans of them, that's fine. But at least them be involved in some shape of a storyline, not this type of stuff. You know what I mean? What would have been more shocking is if you didn't have Enzo Amore and Big Cass beat up the Minutemen, if you actually just had Enzo Amore and Big Cass come in to help John Cena later on down the show. But anyway, Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus the Social Outcasts. And Enzo Amore and Big Cass defeat Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. I wasn't a big fan of it. Sasha Banks interrupts Charlotte and Dana Brooke. Now, honestly, I haven't been paying attention most of the time there, but honestly, I seen a little bit of it. The sad reality is that this was probably the best promo of the night. Is that Sasha Banks and Charlotte were the best that did promos and stuff. I know Jacko Knight was probably happy because he's seen Dana Brooke. Shout out to Jacko Knight, by the way. But yeah, honestly though, Sasha Banks, I mean, at least they're doing something. At least they're having a rivalry there. At least they're doing something. But they're not doing anything with these other guys. The guys like the John Cena's and stuff. There isn't a progressive storyline. And it's funny how the Sasha Banks Charlotte thing got more progression than any other storyline, which is just ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, basically, all in all, the promo was actually good. It wasn't perfect. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't perfect, but yeah, it was okay. WWE Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose versus the International Champion The Miz. The Intercontinental, see, that's how they're making me brain dead here, ladies and gentlemen. WWE Dean Ambrose versus Intercontinental Champion The Miz, and all in all, this was not fantastic. Dean Ambrose defeated The Miz, so they've literally just buried the Intercontinental Championship again. See, back in the day when the Intercontinental Champion faced the WWE Champion, there was something involved in it. There was something that would have been great. But instead now, the Intercontinental Champion is being buried constantly. At least they didn't have an interruption, but at the same time, it's just burying the Intercontinental Championship. And right now, the United States and the Intercontinental Championship is completely useless now. It really is. What can I say? Dean Ambrose defeated The Miz. Seth Rollins came down, and for whatever reason, Dean Ambrose gave him a pat on the back to Seth Rollins, and then all of a sudden, Dean changed his mind, ran into the ring, then went to the Spanish announce table, and then that was it. I was like, okay. Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins pinned Dolph Ziggler for the win. He vowed, so Rollins grabs a microphone after the match and calls himself the best, name-dropping Roman Reigns as he ranted about triple threat match at Battleground. He vowed to take back his title, to which Ambrose responded nah, before tossing his title at his longtime rival, igniting a brawl at ringside, then communicating the dirty deeds into the Spanish announce table. And that was it. All in all, it was alright. At least. But again, there's no progressive storyline. This is what I'm saying right now, ladies and gentlemen. Is that they're just having guys say, I hate you. I hate you too. Let's beat each other up. Okay. Just add, every week they should have something different for the storyline, like a set piece. Right now, they're just going for whatever. They're just repeating what they're doing in previous Raw weeks. That is what the main problem is with Raw. That, and it's just 3 hours.
It's way too much. Vickie Guerrero came in. Vickie Guerrero returned to Raw, stating her case for the thing. This is just getting old right now. She was shrill and loud, obnoxious as she slapped one security guard, attempted to pull her away from the microphone. Then had one of her passionate meltdowns as she disappeared behind the curtain. Then Big Show delivered a massive speech talking about the tag team champion, the 16-man tag. I'll get to that in a second. By the way, can I just say this, right? And I know I'm probably splitting hairs right now, but Kane was involved in the United States Championship, the United States team. Isn't he from, like, Death Valley? Like, is Death Valley technically a part of the United States or something? Do they have a state there? I don't know what the hell's going on, but, like, Kane, technically, you know, yes, the guy that plays Kane is an American, but it's kind of like, in a storyline sense, this is what I'm talking about again, it's a lack of storyline. And again, I'm probably looking in this too much, but Kane's from Death Valley. He's not actually from America. You know what I mean? Like, he's not like, you know, he didn't walk in, you know, like, they watered down Kane so much. And, you know, I remember when I was a kid, I fucking loved Kane, man, the big red machine, and he would chokeslam people and all. Now Kane, that sounds like Kane went into a fucking passport fucking depot and got a passport. Now he's American citizen. Like, you know, it's like Kane was one of those guys where he didn't care what country you were from. He would chokeslam you. And like I said, I don't mean to go on about it, but it's like, Kane, I mean, in the storyline sense, he's technically not American. Although the actor, the wrestler, should I say, that plays him is American. But at the same time, it's like, you know, really, they could have probably got someone else than Kane, you know, because I don't know, what does it say? Like United States Championship. Also, like, does he have a separate visa for fucking Death Valley or some shit? I don't know. It's just, I don't know, maybe I'm just looking at it too much. Let me know what you think in the comments below, by the way. By the way, we have the official burial of the Revel Villains. Golden Truth defeated the Revel Villains. This was terrible. The Golden Truth defeated the Revel Villains. This was absolutely awful. And also now the Revel Villains are officially the, what were they called again? The, Ascension. They're officially now the Ascension, and rather than the Revel Villains actually doing storyline tag teams, or maybe having another feud with Enzo Amore or Big Cass, or having a feud with the New Day, or I don't know, whatever, I don't know, but it just seems that the Revel Villains now is completely buried, and that's the end of it there, so that's all she wrote. John Cena addresses the club. This was just awful. This was awful, awful, awful. I said this to WJ, you know, before Raw came on. I was saying, I says, I bet you like AJ Styles says, we take over Tokyo, and we're the ones that are, you know, we're from Tokyo, and John Cena, like, I will say this, so John Cena didn't say that much patriotic stuff. Technically, he did a little bit, but it wasn't like, I'm American, like, it wasn't like so blatant, so thankfully they didn't do that, but at the same time, this promo was just boring. This was just absolutely boring. I was just so bored to tears of the promos and shit. And again, I like AJ Styles, I like the club, but unfortunately, they messed the club up so much because they could have had the club interrupt people looking like badasses, let them beat everyone up, shit like that. But instead, you had AJ Styles saying, I don't know if I should be in the club, and now all of a sudden, oh, I'm officially in the club, and I don't know, they've really messed up the club, so they have 100%. So yeah. Anyway, and apparently Enzo Amore and Big Cass, they interrupt. They try and beat up John Cena, and Enzo Amore and Big Cass help John Cena, and shit like that. Becky Lynch versus Summer Rae. This was what I've been told the worst night of the match. Becky Lynch defeated Summer Rae, and that's it. So that's basically it. Okay, Bray Wyatt threatens the New Day. Apparently, this was actually the best promo of the night. The close second was the Charlotte thing. Although, yeah, because I forgot about this. Yeah, that's right. The Wyatt family, the New Day hit the ring, drawing a huge pop for a pre-main event promo segment. Kofi Kingston and Big E poked fun at the Wyatt family while Xavier Woods looked unmotivated. Bray and Eric Rowan and Baron Strowman interrupted. The Reaper's Souls once again challenged New Day to come to the Wyatt family compound and fight them. Big E and Kingston were quick to accept until Woods finally snapped. He scolded his teammates for being so eager to battle Bray and company, warning them that if the New Day does not realize how dangerous its rivals are, then the trio may not survive. I want to double check and see if it's working. I thought the volume wasn't lowered on that properly. Anyway, yes, how dangerous his rivals are, then the trio may not survive. He dropped the microphone and walked off, leaving fans and his teammates stunned in silence. Yes, hands down the best segment. At least they're doing something with a New Day, and hopefully they break up. Hopefully. 16-man tag team elimination match. And believe it or not, usually on other occasions, this would be a gimmick match that would happen on the middle of Raw. Unfortunately, this was actually the main event, and it led into absolutely nothing. Obviously, Team USA won, and they defeated the multinational alliance, or the rest of the world, you might as well just call them. This match was garbage. This match was absolutely awful. And we'll say this, though. Zack Ryder finished Sheamus with a Rough Rider for the win. They're not going to do anything with Zack Ryder after that, so who really cares? And Cesaro turned on his own team, unloading with a series of uppercuts. He walked into the roll-up from Ryder and was eliminated. Long Island IC made the hot tag to Big Show, who tore through the opposition until Sheamus was the only remaining member of the foreign team. Ryder finished Sheamus with the Rough Rider for the win. So all in all, I think we can safely say this match went to absolutely nothing. And I will be giving this Raw a 3.5 out of 10. I'm going to have to go a little bit more of a vicious ratings here, ladies and gentlemen, because I've been a little bit nice. I've been saying, oh, it might be even. I'm going to have to give this a vicious rating for a 3.5 out of 10. There is no call for this to be on air. This was atrocious. This was bad. And my God, I literally shit myself for the brand split, because it's going to be awful, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, thank you for watching. This is General Jerry on the General Jerry channel. Signing out.